You better watch out. Better not cry. Better not pout. And I'll tell you why. Because he'll axe ya. Klaus! Released in 2019 and is directed by Sergio Pablos, who made his directorial debut with this film. And this movie is starring the voices of Jason Schwartzman, J.K. Simmons, Rashida Jones, Will Sasso, Nina Margaret Laba, Sergio Pablos, Norm Macdonald, and Joan Cusack. In 19th century Norway, Jesper Johnson is the laziest, spoiled, and self-entitled son of Royal Postmaster General who has enrolled Jesper into his postman training academy. However, he is fed up with his son just mooching off of everybody, so to teach him a lesson, he gives him an impossible task of establishing a post office in the distant northern island town of Smirensburg. And while there, Jasper is realizing that this is probably a very impossible task because no one here is sending each other letters. The people are divided between two different families and they're constantly fighting with each other, but through a series of kind of very creepy events, he makes friends with a lone carpenter out in the middle of the woods who makes a whole bunch of toys, and if kids are good in the neighborhood, this carpenter will bring them a gift. And for those of you that haven't seen this movie, but it's December, it's that time of year, I think you know where I'm going with this. I remember the first time I watched this, my wife actually recommended it to me, and I didn't know what it was about. I knew it was an animated picture. I just went into it completely blind, and as it's going along, I am starting to realize, oh my god, this is an origin story for Santa Claus. How brilliant and how genius it is to have an origin story for Santa, but through his relationship through the post office. Because we're always thinking about Santa and magic and elves and making toys, but you don't think about the mechanics of, hey, how are people notifying Santa what they want for Christmas? Because sending those letters and having someone connect those letters to the destination, it's a pretty big operation. And I think the only time before that we've ever had any interaction between a postman and Santa Claus is that Santa Claus is coming to town animation stop motion cartoon. So to see that relationship actually fleshed out and realized in a full-length animated picture that is absolutely beautiful, it is gorgeous through the animation on screen and through the storytelling. This enthralls and entertains your eyes just through the harsh and sharpness animation and design of all these characters and the world around them, but it's also very fulfilling to your heart and to your soul. I don't know anyone who could sit down and watch this movie and can't be in at least a small puddle of tears by the end, because this movie is so freaking beautiful. It's a wonderful redemption story for both of these characters. Jesper starts out as this prick of a kid who is spoiled and doesn't know what's good for him, doesn't know what's good for the world. He's just always out for himself. And to see his journey and realizing that even though when he's doing these acts and taking all of these letters, he's doing it for selfish gains at first, he's starting to realize that just this simple act is spreading kindness and is spreading good throughout this small little, what seems to be an insignificant town. And then also seeing the relationship grow and fester between Jesper and Klaus. They start off and they're very cold to each other. They barely say a word to each other. But to see more conversations and more words coming out of Klaus's mouth as the movie goes along, it puts a smile on your face and it brings tears automatically to your eye. I'm kind of getting teary-eyed just thinking about it. And the redemption of Klaus being this shut-in, being this outcast after what happened to him with his family and his loved ones early on in his life. He's a recluse. He wanted nothing to do with anyone, but then all of a sudden this opportunity came to his front door in the form of Jesper looking for some mail, and all of a sudden he's starting this toy giving and gift giving operation that puts a smile on his face, and he finally gets those kids that he always wanted. Oh my god, that is bringing me to tears already. This movie was released on Netflix in November of 2019. Just a few months after this, everyone shut down. Everyone became their own recluse because we had to with the start of the pandemic and COVID spreading all throughout the world. So without this film knowing, it is actually a very timely movie because we're watching a character who becomes a recluse start to rekindle relationships and start to build relationships and get back out into the world again. Just like how most of everyone in the world has slowly gotten back to meeting each other and seeing each other again, even though at some points we probably shouldn't be doing that. But how could it not put a smile on your face to see that character after going through those trials and tribulations yourself? It's It's just beautiful. I will keep using that word in this review because this movie is just that. It's simply beautiful. Schwartzman is great as Jesper. J.K. Simmons is wonderful as Klaus. Joe Cusack is hilarious as one of the rival gangs in this town. She's the leader of, I forget the name of the family, but she always comes across, or at least tries to present herself as one of the most evil people on the planet. But then there's always some little tag or some little joke at the end that brings it in, and you realize, like, okay, she's not that terrible of a person. She tries to be, but there is that funny side of this character, and I love that. And I would think this is one of the last performances of Norm Macdonald. Hearing his voice as the boat captain, I was thinking, like, that can't be him, because Norm Macdonald, didn't he pass away like a while ago? But no, I guess this is one of his last performances, so it was really great to hear his voice again. There are so many wonderful, terrific moments in here. It's not just a Christmas movie, it's just a heartfelt family mental health film that promotes just caring and loving and friendship and being okay with not being okay and going through depression and overcoming grief. Just all of these things packed into this small 1.5 hour movies. Oh, it's just great. It's just, I love it. Seeing the teacher go from selling fish to rekindling her love of teaching again. Another thing that I can relate to, as it's something that I'm going through now. This film has so many universals and is so relatable that I think it needs to be on everyone's holiday watch list all throughout the world. It's not just an American thing. It's not just a North American thing. This is a universal idea. And my favorite moment from this picture is when the Sami girl Margot comes and is trying to say what she's looking for, what she would like, but because she doesn't speak English, they have to figure it out and they have to translate it. And then when she finally gets that little boat sled thing, to see the smile on her face, to see the smile on her parents' face, to see how happy she is, it automatically brings tears to your eyes just with the joy that you're seeing by just giving a gift, to give some form of happiness to someone else. It just does your heart so good to see good being done to other people. I don't know if this would be the greatest Christmas movie ever made. For me personally, I think I would say that, just with how emotionally attached I am to this film. It's definitely the best Santa Claus movie that's ever been created. There's no debate there. And it's one of the best Christmas movies ever made. I can't recommend this movie enough. It is heartfelt. It's good. It is good on this world, which I think everyone needs right now. I'm gonna give Klaus 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I think I see blue. He looks glorious.
So guys, if you've seen Klaus, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I'm released next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.